Everybody, thanks very much for joining today. We're very excited because IBC is about a month away, which isn't long, but very often for manufacturers, it represents the culmination of a lot of working together. In this case, we're talking about a joint piece of work that we've been working with LiveU. And I'm really pleased to say Amir has joined us from LiveU to talk about the joined up workflow. Simon from Marquis is joining us to talk about some of the technology from our side. And there's a third partner in this, which is Avid, which we will have another similar kind of discussion with in a leading up to IBC. But for this particular conversation, we're talking about how to improve workflows into Avid from LiveU. And a lot of the work that we've done, some of the nuances and how it improves the overall effectiveness and efficiency of those kinds of workflows. So, Amir, do you want to just kind of introduce from your side the technology that you're bringing to the table and kind of some of the limitations that existed before we did the work that we've done?
Yeah, sure. So as part of a new product that we launched recently, which is called LiveU ingest, we identified a very, let's say, manual workflow on the ingest part, including manual recording, metadata tagging, synchronization with field crews. And we were trying to see how we can automate and make these workflows a lot more efficient. This comes with, let's say, what we see in the trend of story-based workflow end-to-end. So LiveU ingest today allows you to automatically ingest content directly into your MUM system, including the metadata tagging, which is added by the field crews when they start a transmission in the field. So that's the baseline, and the cooperation between LiveU and Marquis allows us now to seamlessly take content from LiveU ingest and seamlessly push it into Avid MUM system, including metadata, including support for growing files. So this makes it a very, very seamless workflow for broadcasters.
So that sounds great, because what it kind of replaces is manual ingest. So you're going to baseband video probably to ingest via a server. So you're concatenating the codecs, you're losing the metadata during that workflow. You may be having a member of staff who's having to hit record or it's scheduled to be recorded. And all of those take up resources. So Simon, maybe you could comment on how we use the metadata to automate the workflow.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, it's always very key for everything we're offering with the workflows to make sure that it's a media metadata exchange. We want to get the media metadata into the system, into the Avid system as quickly as possible, and allow it to be used by the editing team, production team as soon as possible. So we're always very keen to make sure that we're triggering off the recordings that are coming out from the LiveU system, and getting that content directly through into the Avid system alongside the metadata, making sure that metadata that's been captured early on is passed alongside the media. And as we're writing the content directly into the Avid systems, we'll check the assets in with their metadata at the start of the recording, and make sure that's available for the users as soon as it starts. And obviously, as we go through the process of the growing files, while the files are recording, we'll update the Avid system for that, and then we'll round everything off at the end and put the finished package in at the end with all the final information. So let's make sure that everything goes together and everything's always complete and it's there quickly.
So let's kind of build this into a real world scenario. Let's talk about sports news. So you'll have a stadium wired up with fiber, so that's very straightforward. You may have want to being to shoot fan zone type stuff. And that doesn't qualify for a sat truck to be in the center of, let's say, Brussels while there's a big international football match going on. But you equally want to get that kind of spur of the moment leading up to a match. So let's talk about that workflow a little bit. How it's automated and how quickly those sorts of shots would get into an Avid system. Amir, do you want to talk about the LiveU front end piece of that?
So yeah, so assuming we're talking about a planned event, so it's already in place in your NRCS or planning system. So the way the system works is that any field crew or cameraman that will start a live transmission, either from the backpack or from our cloud-based management system, they will be prompted to select the story that they are covering from a pre-ready list that is connected into our system. And once they do that, this metadata flows all the way. It's recorded in LiveU ingest and then passed through to Avid MAM system as it grows. So anyone who is looking at Avid's side, looking for content to start working on, do post-editing as it grows, can immediately see the content with its metadata, knows what it's about, and very easily use it in order to publish content much faster than previously.
So one thing new for IBC this year, which I think we're all very excited about, is implementing chunk transport streams. And maybe again, Amir, talk about how that's useful to you from your side, and then Simon, how we've actually implemented it.
Yeah, so definitely for our customers, when we launched the product, we had support for finished files only. It means that you could start, edit, or do some post-production work on this content only when the live transmission ended and was fully recorded. With this new implementation that we just launched with Marquis, we're able to push content into Avid as it grows. So approximately 30 seconds after the transmission starts, you can already see a growing file with its metadata in the Avid system, and you can start working on it as it grows. And this brings huge advantage to anyone who wants to start publishing content while the event is happening. And it's huge benefit compared to the previous workflow.
Yes, so from our point of view, we're able to detect the files as soon as they're recorded. And from that point where the very first chunk is created, we can start the transfer and get the content through into Avid. At that point in time, that asset will be registered within Avid as a growing file. The Avid users will be able to see that it's a growing file, and they'll be able to get it into Media Composer and start using it immediately. And then we'll be chasing the end of the recording as it's growing and continually updating the asset in Avid. And so the user will be able to keep using the file and keep going to the endpoint of the recording until that recording completes, and then we'll complete the transfer and complete the asset within the Avid, and we'll see it turn from an in-record file to a finished file. Always going with metadata. That's still going through the workflow. So the Avid users will get access to the asset almost immediately, and then they'll be able to use it very close to the actual record point of the source device. And it's very powerful and very easy for them to do that. And again, very quick.
So Simon and Amir, if we go back to our kind of fan zone, you're in the centre of Brussels, city square, the camera crew are shooting pieces, and when they're shooting a piece, they're recording a piece, that is instantly or very quickly going to the right folder in Media Central. So there's no other intervention by anybody else. They can just shoot packages and it just keeps arriving in the folder for the day, and you can start editing and packaging content. So that's probably taken out manual processes, ingest servers, a lot of operational issues, and I think improved the quality of the handling of the content as it's come in, because it's going into that right folder. So I guess another question, Simon, we've talked about Media Central. What if you don't have Media Central?
So the main workflows we've always supported is to get content through into a Media Central-based Avid production asset management system, which by default supports the ability to work with growing files. A development we're working on and hoping to launch, planning to launch for IBC this year, is to add that support into non-production asset management systems as well. So systems that are based around just Nexus or even standalone media composers would be able to have the same level of functionality. And so they'll still have options to access the growing files. And it matches into our fundamental way of working. We want to make sure that the Avid users have the same level of functionality, regardless of what type of system they're using, be it from a standalone media composer through to a full media central system or a cloud-based system. We want to give them the same functionality and take that complexity away from them. And again, back to one of your earlier points, from the user's point within the Avid system, this workflow is configured. They don't need to know with that, really. It's just the content is going to arrive and they can start using it.
Yeah. So what we're now saying is effectively we can go from the LiveU environment to any Avid environment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, Amir, how does that open the market up, do you think, to LiveU in terms of the use cases of LiveU for these sorts of workflows?
No, I think it's eventually the connectivity for LiveU ingest into different MAM system is a key parameter for its success. And as Avid being very dominant in the market in this, especially for MAM system and post-production systems, integrating to Avid and allowing to support growing files into Avid's MAM, it's a key requirement for us to be able to succeed and to be able to bring and fulfill the full story-based workflow that we envision. So that's a key requirement from our side.
Yeah, and I think that really, it sounds very exciting. I think if you're a customer of LiveU, or to be a customer of LiveU, and you already have Avid in some flavor, but also you may be hiring in Avid. So you might be just doing a single event and you want to be able to deploy this kind of solution or service. So how would somebody, let's say they're doing an international sports event, we've just had a big one, they're going to be hiring in a ton of stuff. How would they do that with LiveU?
So again, today everything that we do, we have plenty of business models. We can purchase or lease our units. You can even rent them for big events, especially for Olympics and such events. We have a very, very well organized logistics around that. And also everything around our cloud and software services is possible to be purchased in the same way. So we already have few customers, big US networks that used LiveU ingest for the Olympics, just in order to increase their capacity and not be limited to their existing recording systems. So LiveU ingest allows you to very easily enhance your recording capacity, include metadata, whether or not use either cloud or on-prem, use a full service from our side, or deploy it on your cloud. So it's a very, very flexible system that allows you to scale up your needs whenever you need them. So
I think what we're saying is we're kind of bringing the agility that clients need, either their fixed infrastructure, maybe news or sports news, or it's a single event, then this is quite an agile approach that we're deploying here. And I guess the other question is this a science project? So, how confident we are that this is going to be, we're showing it at IBC in about a month's time for the first time at IBC. Where are we in terms of rollout? So maybe Simon first and then Amir second.
This is very much real product. It's definitely not a science product. Obviously the fundamental integrations we have with Avid have been long proven within Medway, and support we've added in for the live integrations and the growing file supports are very much real products and are out under trial with customers at the moment.
Yeah, so also from our side, LiveU just is already in the market for a few years now. We already have some massive deployment for a few broadcasters, and the support for growing files based on segmented TS is coming out now for IBC as an official version. So it's pretty much available. We have already a few beta customers running and using it, and the official version is going to be ready for IBC this year.
Very good. So if a customer says that sounds really interesting, I'd like to trial and I'd like to test this workflow, how would they do that from your side?
So very easily, you can either contact directly your LiveU representative or via our local partners, depends in the region. And we can very simply spin up a ingest instance. Again, cloud-based, it's the most simple way. If you prefer it on-prem to connect to your local on-prem MAM system, that's also an option. So we can very easily spin up a trial for you to try it out for a few weeks and see how it works.
And I think it's same from our side, Simon. What's the process that we'd go through?
Well, again, you can make contact. You can make contact through LiveU and have them approach us or come directly to us or our sales representatives or our reseller network. And for our point of view, setting up a demo for this and a trial is just a very quick action. We can get our support team on to help, and that'll be done very quickly.
Great. So I think it's very exciting. We're excited with the prospect of IBC coming up. This is being shown on the show floor. Well, no, actually not on the show floor, in the cloud. So it'll be fully operational between LiveU and Avid. You'll be able to see these workflows working, which we're all very excited about. Amir, is there a last word from your side?
It's exciting. I think we're bringing a solution that is a game changer for how broadcasters can ingest content. It's been a very, very traditional and manual workflow for many years, especially because you needed like some system to tie up the missing pieces and connect the dots. And I think that the cooperation between our companies allows to bring a full solution end to end that really allows to automate this process, make it a lot faster, save resources, and work in a much more efficient way than in the past.
Yeah, and I think almost everything that we do now in the kind of broadcast and TV environment is all less led by business planning, making business cases, and they are all driven by achieving operational efficiency and effectiveness and transforming workflows. And I think that's what we've done together jointly with Avid. And I think our clients will be very excited to see this at IBC. So Amir, thank you very much for your time this morning. We look forward to seeing you in Amsterdam. And I think that more information is available on our websites as well. And I think Liz will pop up some web addresses at the end. Thank you very much. Thanks, Amir.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.